Friends, is it right to randomly open the Bible, point to a verse and say this is God's will? There is nothing wrong with praying to God and opening the Bible and reading the first passage your eye comes upon. We can find enlightenment from God by opening the Bible. One of the famous examples is that of Saint Francis of Assisi. One evening, Saint Francis was invited to the home of his friend Bernard, who told Francis of his great desire to abandon everything and, like him, share a life of poverty. But was it truly God's will? He was confused. And after a long conversation, they agreed to go to Mass the next morning to ask for the Lord's guidance. After the Mass, they opened the Bible 3 times, and each time they fell on one of the passages in which Jesus calls his disciples to leave everything and to follow him. We find it in Mark chapter 8, verse 34, Matthew chapter 16, verse 24, and Luke chapter 9, verse 23. He accepted this as God's will and joined Saint Francis of Assisi. Friends, what could be problematic is our intention and our expectation when we open the Bible randomly and point to a verse and say that this is God's will. You may face some of the following problems. It may seem like you are demanding God that He answers you at a specific time and in a specific manner. When you read a random Bible verse, friends, you are missing the context of the text. Sometimes fragile personalities can seek in this practice a kind of security that absolves them of their own personal responsibility. On the other hand, dominant or persuasive characters may seek to use this practice consciously or unconsciously to manipulate a group or individuals. Friends, if your intentions are not right, then you may even find yourself practicing bibliomancy. Now, bibliomancy is a practice of divination by means of a book. It involves turning to a random page in a sacred book, like the Bible or the Mahabharata or the Quran, in order to find the answer to a question posed. Friends, God gave us the ability to reason. So why set it aside in favor of random chances? Yes, God speaks to us through His Word. Yes, God leads us to specific Bible verses that will speak to us in a time of need. Yes, God sometimes makes us stumble upon a verse at the right moment when we need the message the verse contains. Friends, but God's Word is meant to be studied, to be understood, and to be applied. We are to study God's Word intentionally and not just randomly.